Hello friends, I'm Robert Anderson. Today I want to share with you a small story that happened to me last week. Last Tuesday morning, I walked into my kitchen with keys in hand and completely forgot what I intended to do. I stood there, staring blankly at the keys, unable to remember why I was holding them. We sometimes call these senior moments, don't we? I called my daughter, Emily, and told her about it. She laughed and said, "Dad, you're not getting enough quality sleep." At first, I was skeptical. I told her, I still sleep a full 7 hours every night, from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. What's there to complain about? But this wasn't the first time this had happened. The week before, I forgot where I put my reading glasses, even though they were sitting on top of my head. At our family gathering, I couldn't recall the name of our neighbor whom we've known for 15 years. These moments, though small, worried me. At our age, we all fear memory loss, don't we? I began to wonder, could these be early signs of dementia? Or just normal aging? I spent a whole month researching, reading studies, consulting with experts. And I discovered something very important that many of us don't know. It's not how many hours you sleep that matters, but how you sleep. Today, I want to share with you my journey of discovering the secrets of quality sleep. One of the most important keys to preventing cognitive decline that few people know about. The methods I'll share don't require medication, aren't expensive, but can completely change your quality of life. Join me as we explore how we can protect our memory and brain just by changing the way we sleep. Before diving into solutions, I want to share with you the signs I experienced. And perhaps you're experiencing them too. These aren't just minor troubles of old age, as many think, but important signals from our brain. Sign 1. Forgetting everyday tasks. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or put your keys somewhere and couldn't remember where? I used to think these were just normal senior moments. But it turns out, they're signs that your brain isn't fully recovering through sleep. Last week, I went to the grocery store and at checkout, I couldn't find my wallet in my pocket. I turned everything upside down, checked 2, 3 times. People in line behind me were getting impatient. Finally, the cashier gently pointed to my hand, where I'd been holding my wallet the entire time. In that moment, I felt embarrassed, but also concerned. What was happening to my memory? Sign 2. Waking up tired despite adequate sleep. I was still sleeping from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., a full 7 hours. But why did I still feel groggy and unfocused? Sometimes I felt like I hadn't slept at all. Heavy eyes, foggy mind, needing 2 to 3 cups of tea to start my day. My previous habits, watching late-night news, checking my phone one last time before lying down, and sometimes having a small glass of whiskey to help me sleep better. I had no idea these seemingly harmless habits were destroying my sleep quality. Sign 3. Unexplained mood changes. Some days I found myself irritable and sad for no reason. Little things would bother me. When grandchildren came to visit, instead of feeling joy, I felt tired and wanted quietness. Initially, I thought it was age, hormonal changes. But it turns out it was related to an important stage of sleep I was missing. Deep sleep. It's no coincidence that people say they woke up on the wrong side of the bed when they're in a bad mood. I remember once snapping at my son over something trivial. He forgot to bring the newspaper I asked for. Seeing his confused face, I realized I wasn't the calm, patient person I used to be. Sign 4. Difficulty concentrating in the morning. I typically needed 2 to 3 hours after waking up before I felt truly awake. Reading the newspaper, doing household tasks, or even having conversations became more difficult. I thought this was normal with aging, that everyone experiences this. But when I reconnected with friends my age at the senior center, I realized not everyone faces this issue. What was different about those friends who remained sharp and alert in the mornings? If you're experiencing any of these signs, we might be lacking something very important. Deep sleep, the most precious stage of the sleep cycle. But don't worry, I've been there too, and I found solutions. Let's explore why deep sleep is so important. So what is deep sleep? Why is it so important? I won't use complex medical terminology. Instead, let me share a story from when I worked at a hardware store in my younger years. When I was younger, I managed a busy hardware store downtown. Each day, hundreds of people would come in to buy tools, get advice, and browse our inventory. DIY enthusiasts, professional contractors, homeowners with repair needs. By the end of the day, the entire store was in disarray with items out of place. Tools on display tables, merchandise in wrong sections, items waiting to be restocked. Dust, fingerprints, and occasionally paint marks on various surfaces. At night, when the store closed, we had a special team come in to reorganize everything. They placed each item back in its proper location, cleaned displays, fixed broken items, and prepared everything for the next day. Without this team, the store would quickly fall into chaos, and finding the right tools would become impossible. Our brain works similarly. During the day, it receives a lot of information, experiences, emotions, like a busy store with hundreds of customers. And you know what? The special cleanup crew in our brain only works during deep sleep. During a normal night, we go through 4 to 5 sleep cycles. Each cycle lasts about 90 minutes and includes different stages. Deep sleep, also called Stage 3 sleep, makes up about 20% of our total sleep time. During deep sleep, something magical happens. The brain, first, reorganizes the day's memories. Like store clerks putting tools back in the right sections, the brain categorizes what's important to remember and what can be forgotten. Second, deep sleep helps remove toxic waste accumulated in the brain. A breakthrough study in 2013 discovered that during deep sleep, the brain activates a special cleaning system called the glymphatic system. This system removes proteins that can cause Alzheimer's and dementia. Third, deep sleep helps consolidate important things you've learned. That's why students should get adequate sleep before exams, rather than pulling all-nighters. And finally, deep sleep restores energy to your brain and body. That's why after nights with more deep sleep, you wake up feeling more alert and refreshed. The concerning thing is, research from the University of California has shown that people with deep sleep problems have a 30% higher risk of developing dementia. This explains why people with poor sleep quality often experience memory and cognitive issues. The problem is, as we age, our natural amount of deep sleep decreases. At age 70, we have only about half the amount of deep sleep compared to our youth. That's why protecting and optimizing deep sleep becomes more important than ever as we age. But ironically, many daily habits we think are harmless or even beneficial for sleep are secretly destroying our deep sleep. While researching this issue, I discovered I had unknowingly been destroying my own deep sleep for years. Perhaps you're doing the same. Habit 1. using electronic devices before bed. Every evening, I would watch TV until late, check my phone, read news on a tablet before sleeping. It was my way to relax after a long day, and I thought it helped me get tired to fall asleep easier. Little did I know that blue light from these devices was preventing my body from producing melatonin, a natural sleep hormone. Research shows that just 30 minutes of blue light exposure can reduce melatonin production by 50%. I remember nights after watching late news, stories about natural disasters, wars, epidemics. I'd lie in bed, my mind still spinning with negative information. Though tired, I couldn't sleep. And when I finally dozed off, sleep quality was poor. I'd often wake up in the middle of the night and struggle to fall back asleep. Habit 2. Inappropriate bedroom temperature. I always preferred a warm room, especially in winter. My bedroom temperature was usually around 73 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 to 24 degrees Celsius. I felt comfortable at that temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. But it turns out high temperatures hinder the body's ability to cool down, a necessary condition for deep sleep. The body needs to decrease its temperature by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 to 1.5 degrees Celsius, to initiate and maintain deep sleep. Last summer, during a heat wave, my air conditioner broke down. That night, the room was so hot I couldn't sleep. The next morning, I felt like a zombie. Foggy mind, irritable, I even forgot my doctor's appointment. Habit 3. Poorly timed exercise. After retiring, I used to walk in the evenings, after dinner. I thought exercise would make me tired and help me sleep better. But unexpectedly, it had the opposite effect. Exercise raises body temperature and releases alertness hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. If you exercise too close to bedtime, these hormones are still active and make it difficult to enter deep sleep. I still remember my working days. When my children were young, I used to wake up early and do some yard work for 30 minutes before preparing for the office. During those days, despite being busy and sometimes stressed, I slept much better than I do now. Habit 4. Afternoon coffee and evening drinks. My fourth habit, an afternoon coffee to stay alert and a glass of whiskey before bed to relax. Both of these seemingly harmless habits were secretly destroying my deep sleep. What I didn't know was that caffeine has a half-life of up to 12 hours, especially in older adults. This means if I drank coffee at 2 p.m., by 2 a.m., half the caffeine was still active in my body. As for alcohol, while it may help you fall asleep faster, it reduces deep sleep quality. Alcohol causes fragmented sleep, reduces the ability to enter deep sleep stages, and often causes you to wake up in the middle of the night. I was truly surprised to discover that habits I thought were harmless, even part of my daily routine, could profoundly affect my brain and mental health. But don't worry. The good news is, with just a few simple changes in daily habits, we can significantly improve deep sleep quality and protect our brain. Let's explore these methods. After researching and experimenting for several months, I found 5 simple methods to improve deep sleep without medication or expensive devices. These methods have truly transformed my sleep quality and brain health. Method 1. Digital sunset hour. The first method I call the digital sunset hour. I established a rule. 90 minutes before bedtime, all electronic devices are turned off. Phone, TV, computer, tablet, they all go to sleep before I do. Instead, I dedicate these 90 minutes to reading printed books, not ebooks, listening to gentle music, or working on my model ship collection. Sometimes I write in my journal, sort through old photographs, or simply sit in my favorite chair and look out the window, watching the night sky. Initially, this was really difficult. I felt restless, as if I was missing something important. The craving for news, messages, or checking my stock portfolio was strong. Many times I reached for my phone out of habit, then remembered my rule. But after about a week, something wonderful happened. I began to feel more relaxed in the evenings. My mind was calmer. And most importantly, I started falling asleep faster and deeper. A small tip if you struggle with this method. Place a small box in the living room and put all electronic devices in it when digital sunset begins. This creates a ritual, a clear boundary between connection time and relaxation time. Method 2. Optimizing bedroom temperature. The second method is adjusting bedroom temperature. The ideal temperature for deep sleep is 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. For many people, this might feel a bit cool, especially in winter. Initially, I felt a bit cold, but adapted by using warmer blankets and sometimes wearing socks to bed. The important thing is keeping the room cool so your body can lower its temperature, a necessary condition for deep sleep. This change was amazing. I no longer tossed and turned, sweated, or woke up in the middle of the night feeling too hot. Sleep became more continuous and deeper, and the next morning I felt much more alert. If you live in a hot climate or can't adjust the temperature to ideal levels, try using a small fan in the room. Fans not only help cool you down, but also create gentle white noise that masks other sounds that might disturb sleep. Method 3. Proper exercise timing. The third method is adjusting exercise timing. I moved my walking time from evening to morning or early afternoon and avoided strenuous activity after 6 p.m. Physical activity in the morning not only helps you stay alert and energetic all day, but also establishes your biological rhythm, helping your body recognize when it's time to be active and when it's time to rest. Now, I walk 30 minutes every morning, around 7 a.m. after a cup of tea. Walking in early sunlight also helps the body produce vitamin D and establishes circadian rhythm. If mornings don't work for you, the second best time is after lunch, around 4 to 6 p.m. Just avoid intense exercise within 3 to 4 hours of bedtime. I joined a walking group with friends my age in the neighborhood. We meet 3 times a week to walk and chat. This not only helps me maintain the habit, but also brings joy and social connection. Another important factor for brain health. Method 4. Controlling caffeine and alcohol. The fourth method is adjusting caffeine and alcohol habits. I completely stopped drinking coffee after noon. If I need a hot drink in the afternoon, I switch to caffeine-free herbal tea. I've also replaced my evening glass of whiskey with non-alcoholic drinks like tart cherry juice, which contains natural melatonin, or warm chamomile tea, which helps natural relaxation. To be honest, this was the most difficult change for me. I loved my afternoon coffee and nightcap before bed. But the difference in sleep quality was truly remarkable. If you also like the feeling of a special drink before bed, try brewing chamomile or lemon balm tea. Add a little honey and a few drops of lemon. This isn't just a delicious drink, but also helps natural relaxation. Method 5. The 4-7-8 breathing technique. The final method is a simple breathing exercise called 478, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil. This breathing technique has helped me fall asleep faster and deeper. Here's how to do it. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds, making a gentle whoosh sound. Repeat 4 times. This technique activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest system, helping slow heart rate, lower blood pressure, and prepare the body for deep sleep. I practice this exercise every night after getting into bed. Sometimes I don't even finish all 4 repetitions before falling asleep. The important thing is persistence. I practice these changes daily for 2 weeks before truly feeling a noticeable difference. The brain and body need time to adjust and form new habits. Not every method works for everyone. Try each method and see which works best for you. Even applying just 1 or 2 methods can make a significant difference. Now, I want to share with you a combined, simple exercise I call the 20-minute ritual that prepares you for deep sleep. I do this every evening, and it has completely transformed my sleep quality. Starting 20 minutes before bedtime, divide into 4 activities, 5 minutes each. For the first 5 minutes, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for today. They don't need to be big things. Sometimes I write about a delicious breakfast, a call with my son, or simply a beautiful sunny day. For example, last night I wrote, 1. Grateful for the interesting conversation with my new neighbor. 2. Grateful that the tomato plants in my garden are growing well. 3. Grateful that the roast I made today turned out better than expected. Focusing on positive things helps the mind relax and reduce anxiety, one of the most common causes of difficulty sleeping. Next 5 minutes. Progressive muscle relaxation. For the next 5 minutes, I practice progressive muscle relaxation, starting from my toes and moving up to my head. Start by tensing your toes for 5 seconds, then release. Move up to your feet, tense the muscles, and release. Continue to calves, thighs, abdomen, chest, arms, hands, shoulders, neck, and finally, your face. For each area, tense muscles for 5 seconds and release for 10 seconds. This technique not only releases tension accumulated in the body, but also helps the mind focus on physical sensations instead of anxious thoughts. Next, 5 minutes. Practice the 478 breathing technique. For the next 5 minutes, I practice the 478 breathing technique I shared earlier. The important thing is to do it with an alert mind, not rushing or straining. Don't worry if you can't hold your breath for a full 7 seconds or exhale for 8 seconds right away. Start with shorter times and gradually increase as you become more proficient. Many people report feeling uncomfortable when first trying this exercise. That's completely normal. The body needs time to get used to this new way of breathing. Final 5 minutes. Read a printed book, not an e-book. For the final 5 minutes, I read a printed book, not an e-book or e-reader. Light from electronic devices can inhibit melatonin production, even with e-readers. I usually choose to read light, positive content, historical nonfiction, biographies, or books about nature. Avoid stimulating content like news, thrillers, or tense detective stories. After 20 minutes, I turn off the light and let my body naturally drift into sleep. Usually, I fall asleep within minutes. You don't need to perform perfectly. Even if you only do part of it, your sleep will still improve significantly. Try this ritual for a week and see how you feel. I believe you'll notice a difference, just as I experienced. After 2 months of consistently applying these methods, I began to notice clear changes in my daily life. First, I rarely forget objects or purposes when entering a room. Those "why did I come here?" moments have significantly decreased. Second, I wake up feeling more alert, without the tired, lethargic feeling I used to have. I no longer need 2 to 3 cups of tea to start my day. Third, my mood is more balanced, with less unexplained irritability. My children have commented that I'm happier and more patient than before. And finally, I can focus better on daily activities, from reading to conversations, even tackling those small home repair projects I'd been putting off. I haven't become perfect. Sometimes I still forget where I put my keys. But the difference is noticeable, and my family recognizes it too. Last week, my son said, "Dad, you look healthier and much happier." That was the best compliment I could receive. Our brain is like a garden that needs daily care. Deep sleep is the time for that garden to be watered and restored. Don't let small habits ruin this precious garden. I invite you to challenge yourself for 7 days with the digital sunset hour method. Turn off all electronic devices 90 minutes before bedtime. Write down your feelings before and after the challenge. Then, if possible, share your experience in the comments below. I look forward to hearing your story. In our next video, we'll explore the connection between nutrition and brain health. I'll share foods that help protect memory and prevent cognitive decline, along with some simple recipes you can make at home. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, it's never too late to change and improve your brain health. Each good night's sleep is a gift you give to your brain. See you in the next video.